I'm here on a cattle ranch in Central Oregon, a state where beef is the top agricultural commodity and contributes almost $1 billion into the nation's overall $80+ billion cattle industry. But in the last 50 years, not just the American cattle industry, but the global cattle industry has faced a threat that seems far more unsettling: cattle mutilations.
While there are no official statistics, it's sometimes reported that there have been over 10,000 cattle mutilations in the U.S. alone, leaving ranchers and investigators alike baffled by the scale and mystery of these brutal acts.
Now, I've spent my life observing and interacting with predators and scavengers, and ever since I was a little kid, I've been exposed to the livestock industry. And I'm here to dig into the mystery of cattle mutilations to find out if it truly is something paranormal or if something more earthly could be at play.
Keeping an open mind, I want to hear what the ranchers who've actually experienced this phenomenon have to say, starting with Clint Johnson and his father Doug, who operate a cattle ranch near Cow Canyon in remote north central Oregon. On March 28, 2021, they discovered a mutilated cow.
Clint and I were out moving some cows around, and it was laying there. The weird thing about it was our dog was with us, and he didn't want nothing to do with that dead cow.
Is that unusual?
Oh, yeah. Mostly they'll roll in it, and they jump in the pickup and get the stink all over the pickup. But
Yeah.
This dog was sort of scared of it. So,
You think so?
yeah.
Well, so this pictures you
Yeah,
took.
we took them. When we found it, it was probably like, I don't know, maybe a week later.
The tongue was gone, the eyeball was gone, and her female organs were gone. The udders, the whole thing was gone.
You could tell it was like all super clean cut, you know, like they used like a scalpel or something.
And it didn't seem any way like it was animal teeth.
No, it wasn't ripped.
That's the weirdest thing, man. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's
What
its
the hell's all that
leg.
about?
That's a leg, and they cut that out right under its front leg.
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I see that now. Yeah, that does look cut, man. So what's your guys' best theory on it?
There's no signs of people, no signs of predators. I don't think it's humans doing it. I think it's the UFOs or alien.
And you're not like some old crazy, like dope smoking old hippie either.
Not really. Maybe I enjoy a nip off the jug once in a while, but
While just about all evidence of the mutilation has vanished into the landscape, there's one other thing Doug mentioned that I want to look into. A noted lack of any scavengers hitting the carcass. Is that something that's really out of the ordinary? If you place a dead cow out in the middle of a pasture, basically presented on a silver platter to any critters in the area, what happens? Do scavengers or predators feed on the carcass, mimicking the telltale signs of mutilation? We're about to find out.
One of the things that Doug brought up was his observation that nothing scavenged the carcass, right? And in my conversations with you, you don't find that surprising.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of cattle just melt into the ground, just melt from the inside out from maggots and whatnot, and the birds will sit on them and eat on them, peck on them a little bit, peck the eyes out and stuff like that. But a cow has a really tough hide.
Okay.
And I think that's why you always see the soft parts of the cow disappear.
Well, hold on
But-
now, back up. Let me ask you this question. Look me in the eye when you answer this. When you look at a cattle mutilation picture, you honestly look at that and think, yeah, I can see the animals could have done that.
I look at it and I say I've seen that a bunch of times.
That
on
line,
dead
the
cattle.
cut,
There's a few things I can't quite explain.
so we can put the cameras up, we can get a blind set up over there to watch, sit at night with some thermals, and and see what all comes.
Well, let's put it to the test. We're gonna set up trail cams and build a blind about 100 yards away and settle in for some observation. Over the next few nights, we're hoping to see firsthand what comes to feed on, or let's say, mutilate the cow.
You like it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we could play some electronic sounds and try to speed up that process. Whether or not we can get coyotes to actually feed on it, that's another story. That's going to be up to the coyote. There's nothing we could do about that.
Hopefully, playing coyote vocalizations will let any coyotes in the area know there's something over here worth checking out.
There's coyotes all around us.
Yeah. Well, we know we got some coyotes in the area.
So far, scavengers like coyotes have wanted nothing to do with our cow, which certainly goes against the idea that scavengers exhibit a particular avoidance of mutilated cattle. They'll avoid a perfectly normal cow too.
So we've sat here about an hour and 15 minutes, but the wind is just swirling. It creates a giant just pool of odor. And I don't think anything's gonna come in. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Well, we never saw a coyote approach and feed on the carcass, but that is evidence in and of itself. Even with this cow laying out there, scavengers seem to leave it alone. But as day breaks, I'm hoping there are still things I can learn by getting a closer look at the cow.
I've been watching this cow carcass for 5 days, but I'm gonna now go up and take a close look at what's going on and see if this cow in any way bears any of the attributes associated with a cattle mutilation.
I gotta say, you should be thankful that television is not smell-o-vision. This carcass is pungent.
Well, I can tell you this, I see a mind-boggling number of maggots, still a lot of fly activity. There's nothing that looks to me like a removal or appearing to be surgical. Any rancher would find this and they would have found nothing particular about it. So here's my take. Let's start with extraterrestrial life forms. If someone caught an alien chopping up a cow, that would become the biggest news story to ever occur on planet Earth. Now, as for people, we've got 8 billion individuals on this planet, and I am sure that some of them somewhere have come up with some justification to commit a ritualistic mutilation of livestock. I buy it. The bulk of them, though, I think is scavengers and predators, maggots, birds, coyotes, whatever. And those things leave a set of markings on the carcasses that can be occasionally misinterpreted as cattle mutilations because there are some real cattle mutilations. And that realness creates a lot of room for there to be false positives. And I do think the phenomenon of cattle mutilations will continue because we're looking for them. And we humans have a way of finding what we're after. But out here, at night, in the wild, strange and inexplicable things will continue to happen. And when we see them, we're often gonna find just what we most fear.